Excel allows us to save our workbooks in multiple different formats. What that means is you don't always have to save it in an Excel format. You can save it as a PDF or as a comma-separated values file, and these can be very useful when dealing with external organizations or systems. In this video, we're going to look at some of the more commonly used file formats. Now, to begin with, let's recap how we go about saving as an Excel workbook. So I've just created this brand new worksheet, and I know it's brand new because it says Book 1 at the top, which means it hasn't been saved yet. Now, the first time you come to save an Excel workbook, you have to do a Save As. But fortunately, if you forget and just press Save, Excel will force you to do a Save As anyway. Now, the first thing you need to do is to decide where you're going to put it. If you've used the folder recently, it will come up on the right. Otherwise, you'll need to click Browse to find the correct folder. We actually want to put this in the admin folder. So I'm going to select that, and I want to call this file Expenses. So I've picked the correct folder, I've given it a sensible name, and I want to save it as an Excel workbook. I now click Save. The next time I want to save this workbook, I do not need to do a Save As again. I can just press the Save button and all my changes will be updated. When I decide I want to save this in a different format, however, then I will need to do a Save As. So I've decided I want to save this as a PDF. Now, before we go through the process, when we come to save as PDF, it's going to be similar to printing it in that it's going to try and fit it onto the A4 page. If I come to my page layout view, you'll see this is not fitting on one page. It's going to chop it in half and it's not going to look great. So before I save for PDF, I must go through my page layout settings, much like if I was going to print. So coming up to my page layout tab, I'm going to change my orientation to landscape, make my margins narrow, nearly there, one small change. I'm going to set my width to be 1 page. That's now fitting very nicely. I'm now ready to save as PDF. So I'm going to click File and Save As. Once again, I must specify the folder where I want it to go. The admin folder is fine. Again, I'm going to call it Expenses, but this time I want to change my type. So instead of Excel Workbook, I'm going to click the drop down and choose PDF. I now click Save. Not all systems will automatically open the PDF, but you can see here is my completed PDF and it looks great. I can now send this directly to my boss. I'm going to close this and we'll just look at one more option. So coming to our sales file, we have been asked to upload this to the system, but it needs to be converted to CSV. CSV just stands for comma-separated values. It's a type of plain text file, which means that just about any system can understand it. But instead of organizing into columns like this, it takes each value and puts a comma between them. To save a CSV is pretty much the same process we went through before, except we don't need to worry about the formatting because CSVs won't save the formatting anyway. So we're going to come to File, click Save As. Again, we want to go in the admin folder. We're happy to call it Sales, but we're going to change the type to CSV. We now click Save. And it's just warning us that it can only save one sheet. So make sure you're on the correct sheet before you do this. We are, so we can click OK. Now this is just warning us of possible data loss. Remember that CSVs cannot support graphics or formatting. They will only store your actual text and numeric values. This data has now been saved as a CSV. When you open a CSV in Excel, it will show it nicely in columns, but bear in mind, it is just a text file. So that is how you can go about saving your Excel workbooks to other formats.